So speaking of football, we only have a few minutes here. We got the Chiefs game tonight. Of course, the Chiefs playing the Texans. Chiefs, depending on what book you go to, they're favored by 9.5. Me personally, I'm going to tease that up to 10, and I am going to take the dog. I am going to take the Texans. We have the Vegas goal. I'm talking a little parlay action. Brian never, in Chris Wynn style, Brian never usually does parlays, but I might do a little fun little parlay here. I like the Lakers over. I'm not going to bet the Lakers to win. The total's at 220. Houston and L.A., they just don't play defense, man. And both these teams can score at will. I'm taking the over in the Lakers game. I'm taking the Texans. I'm going to try to tease them up half a point to 10. I'm still a little distraught on this Vegas Golden Knights game tonight. I don't really know what's going to happen. I'm getting a sense that there's going to be some sort of offensive explosion. The first game was 1-0. The second game was 3-0. Everybody's assuming that the under is going to come in this Vegas Golden Knights game, which is 5.5. I'm leaning towards a 4-3 type game. I actually think there's going to be some goals, and I'm going to lean towards the Vegas Golden Knights over. I'm not sure yet, but that's where I'm going with this, JD.
Yeah, I took a bet for the Knights to beat the Stars in 6 at plus 280. I took that, I think, a couple days ago. I like the Texans. I'm not sure if they can win outright, but they're going to play it close. I actually like the under as well tonight. The Texans, they got a lot better at cornerback this last year. The Chiefs have this new running back, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. He's straight out of college. I think that the Texans are a good matchup for the corners for the Chiefs. The Chiefs corners, they run like 4-4-4s and 4-5-2s. Rashad Fenton. I mean, the Texans, they have Kenny Stills, Brandon Cooks, Randall Cobb, Will Fuller. I mean, they have some serious burners on that team. Watson just signed a massive contract. They just picked up David Johnson in the offseason, who was a top 5 running back 3 years ago before his injuries. They've got a great offensive line, and they've gotten better defensively. So I like the Texans and the under. I may consider parlaying them or teasing them together. As far as basketball goes, that Lakers-Rockets game to me is really weird because the Lakers, if Rondo didn't score 21 points, they would have lost. LeBron's been playing out of his mind. AD got hurt towards the end of the game. I think I like the Rockets with the points tonight, and that's it. And I'm not going to touch the hockey, although, again, I did say I took the Knights to win in 6.
All right, well, I don't know who's going to win tonight. I think the Knights are the better team. It's a tough one. If I had to lean, I would go Vegas Golden Knights. Certainly I'm going to be rooting for the Knights tonight. I think you can say that as a member of the media, right? But there's no cheering in the media section.
You can definitely say that. Yeah.
I certainly am going to be rooting for the Knights to win. I have no rooting interest in the Chiefs game or the Lakers game. I think it'd be good for the NFL if the Chiefs actually won the game, but I hope it's a good competitive game. It's going to be very weird to see an NFL football game without a lot of people in the stands. That's going to be weird. So I'm going to be very curious. Also, the Chiefs have announced they're going to be doing something as far as this Black Lives Matter protest goes. I don't know. They're not saying exactly what it's going to be. It could be kneeling. I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm actually curious to see what they're going to do. They haven't said what they're going to do, but they have said they're going to do something. So I just don't know what that is. It could be anything. I
got to tell you, man, I was watching the Clippers game last night, the Clippers Nuggets, and they tried to talk about George Floyd and Jacob Blake at the same time, and they said that Jacob Floyd was killed by police. They keep trying to integrate all these social justice incidences into the actual game. The Michael Porter Jr.'s dad was the only one there. He's the only family member for the Nuggets that's actually inside the bubble. And it showed a picture of Michael Porter Jr.'s dad, and it said that, yeah, Michael Porter Jr. and his dad had this very, very in-depth conversation about how you're supposed to handle yourself around police officers. And they actually mentioned that during the broadcast. And I think that's really bad for ratings. I think that's really bad for viewership. I think that's really bad for fans.
Okay, so let me respond to that.
People want to watch basketball. They don't want to hear about
let me respond to that.
incidences that they've heard about ad nauseum on every single news network.
So let me respond.
I'm talking like while Kawhi Leonard has a pump fake, drives baseline, and is getting ready to lay the ball up, they're talking about how Jacob Floyd was, and they don't even know what they're talking about because they're sports announcers. They're not political commentators.
Let me respond by saying this. A lot of the people that are for equality and the BLM.
It's not that I'm not for equality, Brian.
You got to let me finish.
Okay.
Please. For those people out there that are for the BLM movement and people of color, their response to you would be this. Their response to be, well, there are more things that are more important than ratings. And when you look at the NBA, a lot of people are not watching the NBA, not because of a Black Lives Matter patch, not because of politics.
Yes, it is.
Well, okay. Well, you're entitled to
the
that
brand
opinion.
of basketball
Okay,
is
you're
good
entitled-
right now.
Okay, you got to let me
Like
finish.
that Celtics-Raptors game. That was a phenomenal basketball
You
game.
got to let me finish.
It's not because the brand of basketball.
Okay,
Brian.
we got to go. We only have 30 seconds, but I would say that there are more important things in life than the ratings of NBA basketball games. And I think a lot of people would say racial injustice, equality are tops of our priority list. And at the bottom of that priority list is how many people are watching our NBA basketball games. I think that's what a lot of the players and even what some of the owners would say. All right.